Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Yes, Mr. Z is Z late. You would think a person that named themselves after a sports car would be on time. You would think they would be early, but not Z. Work related stuff, y'all. Work related stuff. Yeah. And so y'all already know, living life reckless. Do not put it in the super chats. Do not put it in the super chats. I might as well call these like the reckless streams, right? We just gonna call it the reckless streams. Okay. So we're in here, and yes, Mr. Z is going to give his um cent, not even 2 cents, his cent and a half, his half a cent about the Simone Biles Jonathan Owens debacle and situation, which is not even like, first let's call a thing. People are far too invested in celebrity and athlete life. Far too invested. Jesus Christ. All your insecurities are showing. Jeez. Far too invested in these young people's lives. Let them live. Jesus Christ. So yeah, Jonathan Owens does the interview. Everybody's seen it already. I'm not even going to go into detail about that. What I'm going to go into detail about, or at least speak about, are people's reaction, black people's reaction, black women's reaction, definitely online, about what Mr. Owens said, right? Which we already know. Simone Biles is the one that pursued him. And that's what it's really about. And the fact that he said it. And the fact that they're happy, right? And the fact that he loves her and she loves him, but it definitely seems like she really pursued him and, made it work. And it just rubs them the wrong way now, doesn't it? I don't get to participate in my fantasy, Z. Right? I want to be pursued. Right? If we're going to call a thing, my title is Your Insecurities Are Showing. This is about their insecurities. This is about agency, which Miss Simone Biles practiced and showed. And y'all are far too invested. Dear black women, put your cell phone down. Put social media down. All of your insecurities, god damn. Thank you, Trell. Exactly. He didn't fall down and worship Queen Goddess Simone. That's what it is. Y'all call him Mr. Biles. Y'all call him Mr. Simone. And that does let you know something, right? And shout out to Ed and Sarge Willie Pete. They are absolutely correct. That lets you know something. In these women's ideal world, they would break wolves and then you would take their last name. That's what this is about. This is about taking the alphas, breaking them to their will. This is some weird like slave stuff. This is buck breaking. This is full on buck breaking. Right? Y'all would take alphas, break them to your will, take the rich guy, take the rich, muscular, athletic guy, break him to your will, and then he would take your last name. That's what this really is. Y'all want to take alpha men and break them. Like I said before, they don't want Doberman pinchers. They don't want rockrollers. They don't want, right? They don't want that. They don't want huskies. They don't want German shepherds. They want wolves that they break and domesticate. This is weird. Black women. There's a reason why Mr. Z says the internet will expose us all. All y'all little insecurities on display for the world to see. All your little gripes with black men in the forefront for everybody in the world to see. Y'all are looking real insecure, real desperate, and far too invested in this young woman's life with her husband. Wait a minute, say that again, Z. Her husband. One more again, her husband. You got Real Talk with Yanni talking about, oh, y'all don't know, a lot of these celebrities, a lot of these people, they got inferiority complex. Wait a minute. So what y'all are really saying is y'all would much rather, and excuse me, y'all. Okay, there we go. Y'all would much rather see Simone Biles single Y'all would single part of the gynocracy that be married to a successful, rich, athletic, good-looking black man. Hey, let me use one of Paris Milan's lines. Even though, oh man, Paris Milan, I got to do a whole separate video about Paris Milan and what she said. And I already downloaded it before she deleted it. I already did, and I downloaded what Yanni said before she deletes it too. If she would delete it, I don't know about Yanni. Sometimes she's not really the one that deletes, but definitely Paris Milan is, right. So you know, as Paris Milan says, y'all hate black men more than you love black women. This is not about Simone Biles. This is not about Simone Biles. This is about the collective of black women's ego, not even pride, their ego. That a black woman showed that she would pursue a black man, and both of them corroborate the story that she pursued him. Now, obviously, from what we know, he's the one that proposed, etc., etc. But she pursued him. She went after what she wants, and it shreds all of their wannabe Miss Anne. And excuse me, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we are back, and we are back. But yeah, so this shreds all of the idea of wanting to be Miss Anne, a very specific upper middle class performance of romance, of pursuing, of courting, of dating, and the fact that Simone Biles, who these people see as above Mr. Jonathan Owens, the fact that she corroborates the story, and she looks up to, she likes him. She doesn't just love him, she likes him. Right? She likes him. And she didn't try to son her husband in front of everyone. See, they would much rather a Tina Knowles type of situation where she sunned her husband in front of the world. How long did that marriage last afterward? Oops. Huh? They would much rather that type of dynamic. But Simone Biles did not try to son her husband. She didn't try to belittle her husband. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. She actually likes her husband. She enjoys her marriage. These people acting, well, every black man's a bum to these people. Right? Everyone's a bum to every black man, excuse me, is a bum to these people. Right? So, I'm reading through people's comments. These people are already wishing, and let's be very clear, they would rather that relationship fail so they could say, I told you so. That's frightening. It's frightening that y'all want to see this relationship fail just so you could say, I told you so. And you could see it from these ladies, black women. They want him to cheat so they could say, I told you so. Right? They want him to say or do something unbecoming, and so they could say, I told you so. These are some super miserable people. First, once again, y'all are far too invested in these celebrities and these athletes' lives, their love lives. To think that FD Signifier told black men in the black manosphere to touch grass. Maybe y'all forgot how invested 30 and 40 and 50 and 60-year-old women were on Bronny James and his love life and dating life and who he brought to prom. Maybe y'all forgot. Show me the black men that are in their 50s and 60s, even their 30s, their 40s, 50s, and 60s that are that invested and who's having sex with who in their 20s, in their teens, who's dating who in their 20s, in their teens. Show me all the black men that feel slighted by a black little girl, 17, 18 years old, 16, 17, 18 years old, and who she bringing to prom, and the fact that she brought a white dude to prom. Show me all the 40, 50, and 60 year olds that's that invested as black men. Pathetic. But we got to touch grass, right? Okay. These people feel slighted that a football playing athlete, a athlete is speaking about him and his wife and how they came to be. A whole bunch of non-married black women griping about a married black man. Let me say that again. A married black man, one more again, a married black man and his marriage to his wife. And the fact that the wife corroborates the story and makes sure to put him up front. Oh, your insecurities are showing, your ego is showing for the world to see. The fact that y'all want to sun black men every chance you get. All these little videos, these comments, I've seen them. And these people are so, they want to talk about being tone deaf. How tone deaf are y'all to be doing this right now? For y'all to be doing this now, we're what, 3, 4 days out of, well, we're actually 2 days out of Christmas. Y'all are far too invested. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And talking about super chats, Leon says, Z, don't tell anyone that it's only because he's a black man. The struggle to call him a man, right? Right, exactly. I caught them calling him black male. I call him saying male. I caught them saying it. Man, black women. Especially black women on the internet and social media. Black women. Your insecurities, your envy of white women, upper middle class white women, and their story and their life and their romance and relationship and marriage to white women. I don't think there's a word in the English language to describe your obsession with wanting to take upper middle class white woman's life and paint it black and have that life. The fact that a black woman told you she went after what she wanted, really, y'all feel icky, and this is the same way y'all somewhat, because he's a white man, so he get a pass. This is how y'all acted with Jodie Turner-Smith, because she pursued. Why does she have to say it? Why does he keep on reminding us that she's the one who pursued him? Y'all feel icky. So let me get this right. You want to be alpha. Okay, cool. You want black men to bow to you. Let's be honest. You want other men to bow to you also. But then you want them to pursue you. So you want to be so. This is not even alpha. We're not even human beings anymore. This is like godlike. You want to be so godlike. This is why we say that's why we mock you and say goddess. That these people worship at the ground you walk on. And they pursue you because you're so godlike. You're like, I don't know, you're Zeus on high on Mount Olympus. Right? And it really is. I want to take what Sarge Willie Pete is saying about, these women want you on their arm. No, let's take that a step further. They want to break you. They want to break alphas. You need to take their last name. They're the great ones, not you. No matter what you do, no matter what you've ever done, the fact that they come out the womb with a womb puts them above you. Period, point blank, done. God forbid, God forbid that a black woman is actually accomplished. Oh man, she is God, right? Every black woman is a God, but a black accomplished woman, oh man, jeez, your insecurities are showing, ladies. The secondhand cringe. You're far too invest. Y'all are far too invested. And Simone Biles is telling you what she's saying. Whoever it is, the darker skinned sister with the dreads that Ed played on his channel, he got a video of her in his videos right now. And she told Simone Biles, "No, no, we won't. We won't. You don't have to dim your light so his can shine." What? Excuse me. And that shows very much why we all cooking early. What's going on, Ed? But and that shows the way you think about these things. That's very frightening too, for black women to think this is always a competition with black men. It's black women that think this, and they show it when they speak. You said a lot there. I don't know if you realize how much you said when you said, "Why do you have to dim your light so he can shine?" That's not what Simone Biles said. That's not what black men are saying. That's what black women are saying, right? Then you have Yanni saying, a lot of these people, y'all don't think it, but they have an inferiority complex. Or she either said inferiority complex or something along the lines like, but they don't like themselves or whatever, right? And of course you would say that about black women athletes, black women celebrities that reach the highest height. And there is no up to date. And the men that are all the way up to date and married, these women don't want what comes with that. That is what Nicki Minaj told you. This is frightening, y'all. That is what Nicki Minaj told you. You didn't want to hear it. Wendy Williams told you you ain't want to hear it. Simone Biles is showing you you don't want to see it. Jodie Turner-Smith, even with if you want to talk about inferiority complex, pursuing the white, she wanted the white man, she went to go get the white man, showing you when you at a certain level, guess what, ladies? You might be the one with the power. And sometimes exercising that power means that you have to be the one to pursue. Oh, you hate to hear it. Oh, you hate to hear it. And shout out to Ed. Yes, Ed, they would much rather her had stood around being like, "Oh yeah, I'm Simone Biles. He better pursue me." They would much rather her get passed around by a bunch of low-level, nobody-ass white men, or white men that are not as famous as them, as her. Kind of like Venus is right now. Ooh, Z. Ooh, ooh. Why you had to say that, Z? Ooh. Kind of like Venus Williams right now. Y'all would much rather Simone Biles go from mediocre white man to mediocre white man than be married to a black man she pursued. Right? It's pathetic. Y'all are far too invested in these young people in their lives, in their love lives. Black young people, let these black young people live. Stop projecting your freaking insecurities on them. And Paris Milan trying to cash in. Y'all don't hear from Paris Milan weeks and months at a time, but she know to come in and talk crap about this black man. right? So let's read the definition real quick for insecurity. Insecurity, uncertainty or anxiety about oneself, lack of confidence. Oh, uh-oh. Lack of confidence, uncertain or anxiety about oneself. Black women, your insecurities are showing. Far too invested in these young people and their marriage. Once again, marriage. Once again, Simone Biles already beat y'all. Y'all talking about her being better than her husband. She's half some of y'all age, right? And she already beat y'all. How's she's married? Oops. To someone she actually likes. Uh-oh. She's better than y'all because she actually she didn't just wait around. She was willing to take a risk and be rejected. Huh? She was willing to take a risk and be rejected. She has multiple times stopped what she was doing to pursue a man that she wants. Oh, black women, especially y'all black women on the internet, y'all hate it. You because in your mind, no black man is worth that. To be pursued publicly by black women? Oh, absolutely not. And for everyone to know that's what happened? Oh, your ego. Your ego. Right? So agency, let's read the definition of agency. And it's the second definition. Action or intervention, especially such as to produce a particular effect. Right? Or, and there's another one actually. And the other definition is the ability to take action or to choose what action to take. The ability to take action. Oh, you mean move? You mean do something? Oh, Simone Biles did something. Oh, your heart. Oh, it hurt. It hurt that Simone Biles wasn't acted upon. Man, y'all want to be white women so bad. Ooh, y'all want to be upper middle class white women so bad. Ooh, y'all want to be upper middle class white women so bad. So Simone Biles acted upon a desire and she pursued the man she wanted. Oh, the ability to take action or to choose what action to take. Agency. Action or intervention, especially such as to produce a particular effect. So y'all have a problem with the fact that Simone Biles actually acted on a desire for a black man, right? Oh, y'all hate it. And Edward Adams says the Gynocracy basically reprimanded her husband. See, I was about to slip up and say boyfriend. Yes, exactly. And that's what it is. How dare you? And LS Actives or L's Active says pursued and succeeded, but she took a risk. And that's exactly what I'm saying, Toya. And Toya says, Z, the ability is so foreign to black women, they can only see it as offensive. And they really are acting like it's an affront to all black women. They are really acting like Mr. Owens speaking his truth, which his wife corroborates, is an offense to all black women, but definitely to Simone Biles. And she has such an inferiority complex, and she's the one who's insecure that she doesn't see that as an insult. Meanwhile, a whole lot of white women are pursuing your black man. Oops. And getting them. A whole lot of Latinas are pursuing black men y'all don't even want to know. Huh? Which one of the sisters that was raised from the breakdown, a woman's perspective, which one of them was raised in the country and straight up said it? It was the white girls buying stuff for the black boys when they were in high school. It was the white girls pursuing the black boys when they were in high school. Black women don't want to hear that. Y'all have a way weird, twisted view of the world and of relationships and of desire. This is the same thing y'all were doing with homegirl from City Girls. Y'all act like she had no agency, like she was in staying with Diddy because she wanted to, because she wants something. She wanted the baby or she wanted the wedding ring. Probably both. She really wanted both. Right? So let me get this right. So whenever a black woman shows that she has the stick to it witness, that she has the drive and the motivation to pursue a black man, God forbid, a black man that's not as famous as her, maybe even not as rich as her, God forbid. Oh, so when a black woman does that, the collective of black women just fall to pieces, is what we're saying, right? Thank you, Toya. Toya says Simone is actively ignoring the comments and think pieces while underneath the arm of her husband. You see, they came out with a pretty much joint comment where he was like, "Y'all ain't shaking nothing over here. Y'all not changing anything," and she was like, "Yeah, true." Right, Charlie? Exactly. I said it wrong. Not God forbid. God is forbid. Y'all took this divine feminine thing way too far, right? Y'all took this way too far. Black women, your insecurities are showing. Your insecurities are showing. Talking about that, next definition, investment. And we're going to do invest and investment if there's a difference. Investment, the action or process of investing money or profit or material result, right? Once again, the action or process of investing money for profit or material result. Huh. So y'all have a problem, first of all, that Simone Biles invested time and energy, maybe money. Yeah, actually, if she's flying to go see him, yeah, money too. If she's driving to go see him, yeah, money too. She's showing effort. The other reason I put investment is to say, dear black women, y'all are far too invested, right? You're far too invested. Definition two, provide or endow someone or something with a particular quality or attribute. Y'all are too far invested in their relationship, right? Because y'all are putting way too much on what you think this is going to be. Y'all are hoping that it falls apart. Y'all are hoping that she would, quote unquote, comes to her senses. So let me get this right. So what is Simone Biles supposed to do? Let's call a thing a thing. Divorce her husband and just be out there for some rich white man to come pick up, huh? Call a thing, ladies. Or have a black man that she breaks to her will and that kisses her ass every single time. Every time there's a camera around, right? I would say y'all don't even care if it's real or fake. Y'all would rather it's fake. Let's call a thing a thing. And y'all wonder why there's a SYSBM in Passport Bros? Look at the critique of a show most of y'all don't watch, right? Most of y'all don't care about Simone Biles. Y'all don't. And y'all are right. Y'all didn't know who Jonathan Owens was. Y'all, okay, I'll give you that. You didn't know who Jonathan Owens was. Nor did you really care too much about Simone Biles. Let's call a thing a thing. But now y'all are so invested in her relationship, in her marriage. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Talking about super chats. Detroit says somehow they're not in the uproar. I know what you mean. They're not in the uproar when Gabrielle Union, how she met her husband, how she put him in the friend zone before getting engaged. Oh, the irony, man! Come on, man. You're asking for consistency. Stop it. You're asking for consistency, Detroit. It ain't happening, right? Black women, your insecurities are showing. Y'all are projecting way too much. It is frightening to be part of a community, whether you want to be or not, where the women see anything that is not kissing their ass as an affront to them. Right? That is frightening. That if the kids and the men, I guess, and the pets are not paying homage to that woman every single day of their life, then is an insult to her. It's the same. Y'all notice every time one of them LGBTQ brothers come out and tell the truth, black women remind him, hey, Playboy. Y'all saw it with Funky Deneva. You saw it with what's his name? The chubby super feminine one. What is his name? Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana. Every time one of them say something, they're reminded, hey, we run things over here. You dance to our tune, not the other way around. But to be honest, that's what black women are trying to tell the entire black community. Black straight men, black LGBTQ men, LGBTQ women, the kids, the dogs, the cat, the pet turtle, the hamster, the gerbil. What other type of pets people be having in their house? Let's be very clear. Y'all feel like this about every type of black relationship. All that happened is that Jonathan Owens and Miss Simone Owens exposed it. They exposed black women's insecurities. They exposed how black women don't want to take no type of agency because they don't want the responsibility on the other side of that. Ooh. They don't want to own the agency they have because they don't want to own that on the other side of that is the responsibility for one's actions. That we can now hold you responsible for your actions. The hit flicks it. Don't forget the cockatoo. For real. Oh man, there's a pun in there somewhere. Right? Y'all want to be acted upon by white men. Let's call a thing a thing. And you're so invested in the fact that if we're going to be honest, that Simone Biles pursued Mr. Jonathan Owens and made herself and did what she had to do. And ooh, Z, you about to say it, proved herself to her now husband. And she's no longer just Miss Simone Biles, but she's now Miss Simone Owens, a title she takes more seriously than obviously the rest of you do. That's why she's married and you're not. Huh? That is why she is married and you are not. That's why you keep on pretending that you don't care about what black men think and you don't care about marriage or relationship. Yanny. Huh? That's why you got flamed because you don't listen to your now husband, Paris. Huh? Pathetic. Simone Biles is married because she wanted to be married. That's another thing she exposed. Simone Biles is married because she wants to be married. Uh-oh. Simone Biles doesn't care about negative liberty more than she cares about being married to a man that she finds attractive and appealing, whether you do or not. That might be the thing she exposed the most. That if black women wanted to be married, they would be. That might be the thing that annoys y'all the most. Is that what Mr. Owens exposed is that Simone Biles wanted to be married and now she's married. And that once he got the hint, he made it happen. Right? Huh. And once again, Leon, thank you for the super chat. Detroit, thank you for the super chat. And Victor Creed says, what's going on, Vic? There would be nothing but cheers if he was white. Oh, yes and no. Because they did feel a little bit of cringe with Jodie Turner-Smith and the fact that, first of all, it started off as a one-night stand. She's the one who pursued him. She's the one who proposed to him. And now they're getting divorced. But if it was a white man, they would have felt less cringe, of course. Yes. Absolutely, Vic. Absolutely. Trail, you know it. Trail says, oh my God, marrying a black man is more important than being a boss bitch? Yep. Are we using profanity today, Z? Yeah, lightly, lightly. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. Right? Yeah, they feel cringe. Absolutely, they feel cringe. They feel cringe because a black woman pursued a black man and made it her business to be married to that black man. And it's public that she pursued him. When I say the internet will expose us all, it's also exposing black women's insecurities, black women's envy of a particular type of narrative that comes from upper middle class white women. Black women trying to run a goddamn gynocracy over here, and the black men that push back from that. And even the black women, ooh, who said, yeah, y'all could keep that over here. I'd rather be married. Yikes. I'm okay with having a husband that doesn't kiss my ass. I'm okay with having a husband that says, you know what? Yeah, I didn't even know who she was at first. And Ed, you're right. They didn't watch the rest of it to see when he said, you know, she gave me advice on this and I listened and she was right. right? Simone Biles is exposing the gynocracy. Mhm. And don't let it be lost on you that Simone Biles' upbringing is a little different. Don't let it be lost on you that Simone Biles wasn't necessarily raised by the gynocracy. She moved a little different. Huh? Y'all keep on seeing this, right? The women that ain't part of this, their outcomes and the way they move is a little different, right? Just like Miss Theodora didn't know better than to tell the truth of why these women are chasing after white men. Miss Simone Biles didn't know how to be like to try to. She was supposed to pull a Tina Knowles. That's what black women wanted her to do. So to answer the question of if black women would rather you be single and lonely than be with a black man that you have reverence for. Oh, Z, did you say reverence? There's no way that Simone Biles has reverence for a black man that's beneath her. Oh no. She's the famous one. These women would much rather these black female celebrities, these black women celebrities, be single, waiting for the rich white man to pursue them and marry them and have a bunch of mixed children with them. That's what the goal is. And if they do end up with a black man, the black man pursue them, she breaks him, and then he's on her arm. Once again, why are y'all so goddamn invested? Young athlete couple living their goddamn lives, and here comes a bunch of nobody ass, everyday 9 to 5 black women sticking their noses in these people's business. Mr. Schick to you said nosy. They wanted her to pull a Kiki Palmer. You mean possibly fake a DV situation, or go dancing in front of Usher after she breaks up with him because of this situation, like Kiki Palmer did, or like Vivica A. Fox did when her and 50 broke up forever ago. How did that turn out for Vivica? Ouch. How did that turn out for Kiki Palmer? Yikes. Oh, y'all forgot. Y'all forgot that Vivica A. Fox was twerking to Ying Yang Twins after her and 50 broke up. How did that work out for her? 20 years later. Oops. 50 that had relationships, kids, and everything else after the fact. Vivica, on the other hand, Leon said, "This is like the black version of VH1." I promise. I really, really like. You know, shout out to O'Shea for like using celebrity junk, because this is really what it is, and I think that like, Tone Talk speaks about this, like just black people just being way too invested in these celebrities in their life, and it's taking up time and energy. And Mr. Z's being a whole hypocrite, because I'm in it right now too. Instead of like more important and pressing things, like really more impressing things, right? Ed Blum is, I keep on mentioning him because it's like, it's real. Is around the corner trying to torch everything that gives black people, that includes black women, a leg up. And you don't forget that. I'm not even going to say that black women aren't giving it, you know, as much attention. They're not giving that no attention. None. Right? And once again, thank you, Victor Creed, for the super chat. And Detroit says, now I got to come up with these villain and anti-hero names on these women. Bro, it's bad. It's you know, here go Paris Milan. It looked like she ain't put out anything for a few weeks or maybe even a month. And here she go, like you know, there's, I have to do another stream about this goddamn like rage porn, rage bait click thing that a lot of these women are engaging in, particularly women like Paris Milan. It's always some celebrity gossip thing to piss black women off. It's always some DV thing, some femicide thing. It's the black man boogeyman thing over and over again. And it really like shows how dangerous these people are and how they full of crap because they're married. They're in relationships with black men. They're selling us a product they don't even believe in for real, for real. Y'all are far too invested in these celebrities and these athletes' lives. Y'all are living vicariously through them. No wonder you feel so slighted whenever a black celebrity man is not with a black woman, or a black woman athlete and her husband do an interview where he's not kissing her ass, and where he gives an accurate testimony, an accurate assessment of what happened. She wanted to be married to this man and she made it happen. She didn't wait around for some white man to come waltzing in on a white horse and milady her ass to death while proposing on bended knee. That's not what happened. And y'all hate it. This is weird. This is you know, I reviewed and Roger ended up doing a review of it also. I think he wanted to call it Psycho Crack. That was hysterical. I reviewed and this is a while ago. This is actually on my pre-records on my videos. A show, and I don't recall if it actually aired. I think it did, but it didn't even really go too far. Where a black woman was there, her and her parents had her essentially go back to like Regency era Europe. It looked like England, and like these men were attempting to court her. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much black women's like wet dream. It's to be courted like some aristocrat from Europe back in like the early 20th century, maybe late 19th century. Like somewhere between the Victorian era and the Regency era. It's weird. This envy and jealousy of white women is weird. This trying to sun black men for everything is weird. This taking everything that black men say or do that's not absolutely next level laudatory of black women, it's weird. This punishing black men forever for slavery and Jim Crow and colonization. It's weird. This overinvestment in black celebrity life is weird. Y'all would much rather Simone Biles be single. Y'all want him to cheat on her now. Let's call it thing. You want something to happen just so you could say, I told you so. You would much rather her had reacted like Tina knows, so that in a year or two they could be divorced so you could say, I told you so. I told you he was insecure. I told you he was trying to sun her. I told you this is why when you're a woman, you got to make sure he want you more than you want him. Right? Oh, this is a well. Victor Creed said this. Shout out to Vic. And Leon says, if I'm ever single again, I'm not looking in her phone to see who she's texting. I'm looking in her phone to see who she follows. Vic said this. Right? Shout out to Victor Creed. And Vic said this what over a year ago now? A year ago? Right? And once again, Detroit, thank you for the super chat. Y'all better start checking y'all girl's phone, not to just see who she texting. Oh, yeah, I gotta skip over. Mr. Z can't even get the damn words out, right? And Victor Creed says, "Excuse me, these bitches watching Bridgerton, yeah, and they are in love with it. They're in love with that damn show. It is. You know what? As younger Xers, so really Xers under the age of like 45, 46 maybe, but definitely us as millennials, and for the oldest of you as Gen Z, we're living through black women who had consumed way too much white media. We're not talking about our mothers, them, and our grandmothers. We are speaking about black women who watched way too much Ally McBeal, Friends, right? Girlfriends, which was written by a homeboy from Frasier, right? Um, we are dealing with that. I feel really sad for the Gen Z, especially the younger Gen Z as they come of age, with all these women who watched Mindy Kaling type stuff and Bridgerton and all of these shows that's going right at their brain. Going right at black women's brain and selling them all type of weird, rich, upper middle class, not even just white life, exceptional white life, white standards. It's going to be interesting to watch black women forget just talking crap to black men, trying to end up with these non-black men and then running into the wall that they don't got it like that either. These shows then, and we already know black people and black children on average consume more television than anyone else, and we consume more social media than I think just about anyone else. So all these little teenage girls, as they come of age and get into their 20s and early 30s, what they're going to be pursuing and looking for in men, whether he be white, black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise, particularly black men and white men, right? That's going to be frightening, right? Bridgerton of all, man. Y'all are watching. These kids are watching young black girls and women. Remember, they, like I said, they were watching all of these shows. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Ally McBeal, Friends, Sex in the City, what else were they watching? All of the Seventh Heaven, um, all of these shows from the 90s and the early aughts. And us as younger Xers, millennials, not so much the oldest of Gen Z, but some of the oldest of Gen Z are dealing with women that consumed all of that type of entertainment. So I can imagine what Gen Z, the whole generation, but definitely as you get towards the younger part of that generation, with social media and what those young men are going to be dealing with in the next couple years when it comes to these women and what they desire. Yeah, Dawson's Creek, exactly, Vash, right? And Victor Creed says, Victor Creed says the white man's lice is colder. Not ice. The white man's lice is colder. Hysterical. Well, black people ain't know to have lice. That's definitely a white people thing. Not saying that we don't ever get it, but you know, right? Hysterical. That is a good point, Vic. That entertainment that these young people are consuming, particularly black girls and women, you imagine a mix of like watching Real Housewives of whatever the hell, all these reality TV shows, these hood ass reality TV shows, with a mixture of like extreme white aspirational lifestyle freaking shows like Bridgerton. You imagine, and then topping that off with watching Lovely T, Chrissy, Yanni, Paris, right? Themis and Thaw. That oh my god, talk about Frankenstein mix. That's a toxic sludge. Everyone wants to talk about black men and the black manosphere and consuming all of this hate women talk and I am man, hear me roar, and right? The He-Man, Women Hater Brigade, and all this stuff. And y'all daughters out here watching Bridgerton, and you don't even know what that's doing to her psychologically when it comes to how she's going to be talking and advocating for black people and not advocating for black people and definitely not advocating for black men in the next 5 to 10 years. You are raising a whole little neo-Nazi in your house. Right? Everybody's afraid of their young boys listening into the black manosphere. Meanwhile, your daughter out here listening to Chrissy and Yanni and Paris while she watches Bridgerton. Right? And you wonder why you have the Chrissies. Like, perfect. Chrissy is a product. Chrissy's a millennial. Yanni, Paris, all of these women are products of the same type of entertainment I was just describing. All that entertainment in the 90s and the early aughts. Listen to how they sound. Thank you, Ebony K. Williams. Ebony K. Williams is a perfect example. Kim Foster is a perfect example. O. Stefko is a perfect example. Huh? And the beauty of O. Stefko is she tell you she was consuming all of this type of entertainment. She wonder why she don't got no goddamn man, particularly a black man right now. Ebony K. Williams, same difference. Chrissy, same difference. Y'all little girls are watching some. I already played the clip from the Disney CFO, or at least one of the old CFOs of Disney, where they say they target children with lifestyle advertising, especially the girls. Huh? And once again, thanks Vic for the super chat. Right? They target the girls with lifestyle advertising, and those girls who are now women are some of the most, everyone wants, let's pause right there. We talk about men and this pursuit of these items, the expensive sports car, right? The truck with the lifted suspension and expensive wheels, etc., etc. And no one speaks about your daughters and how they were sold uncut cocaine in the form of lifestyle advertising. And now your daughters sound like Chrissy. Now your daughters are calling into a middle-aged, 50-something-year-old middle-aged black man show talking about who want to be with average anyway. And why are black women always told to settle? White women aren't told to settle. Non-black women aren't told to settle. Huh? Your daughters sound like Ostefco. They sound like Chrissy. They sound like Yanni. They sound like Paris. They sound like Cynthia G. Huh? Your bougetto ass daughters. Bougie ghetto, y'all. Bougie ghetto. They're so invested in celebrities and their life that they are attempting to chastise Mr. Jonathan Owens and his wife, right? L's active cis Kardashian coke. Earth says Hannah Montana heroin. Hysterical, right? Y'all are far too invested in these people's life. And shout out to you technocrats and whoever you are, you social designers, boy, y'all got white women. Excuse me, I said white women. Huh? Freudian slip there. Ha ha. I meant it. Y'all have black women. Y'all got them. Y'all got them. Y'all got them. Y'all got them. Wow. Look how invested they are trying to they want to son Jonathan Owens through his wife. They want his wife to son him for them and their ego. These are women that claim to care about other black women. These are women who claim to care about other black women. Frightening. Absolutely frightening. Y'all feel insulted anytime a black man, or excuse me, anytime a black woman doesn't defecate on a black man. Anytime the story isn't perfectly aligned with some type of weirdo upper middle class white woman's romantic life. Simone Biles pursued her husband and now they're married. Now she is Miss Simone Owens. And the worst thing is she lets you know it. Simone Owens is treating y'all how white women treat y'all. Yeah, black women, yeah, whatever y'all say, yeah, I'm gonna stay over here with my husband though. Huh? She's letting y'all know she's picking her husband over the Gynocracy. Oh, and because she's picking her husband over the Gynocracy, now y'all are wishing that he cheats on her to prove to her, see, I told you. Y'all hoping for some type of DV story. Let's be honest, y'all hoping for some type of DL story. Down low if y'all don't get it. But I read the comments. Y'all are hoping this man cheats on her or he says something super outlandish about you. Finally, y'all want him to finally admit how he's jealous of her. Pathetic. The man told you I didn't really know who she was, but then we went out one day and I saw people stopping and I saw the kids trembling. The man is complimenting his wife. He's telling you that her star shines brighter than his. He's telling you it, but y'all are so not used to listening to men, y'all don't even understand man speak. He's telling you the kids were looking at her and not me. The mothers are walking with their kids and everybody's like, oh, and they're looking at her and not me. He's telling you it, but y'all are so used to ignoring men, black men, that a man is telling you, yeah, my wife, she's the famous one. You know what that also shows? That he's not insecure like y'all are projecting onto him. Y'all are the ones that are insecure. Right? It's pathetic. And Mr. Shook to you says, and thank you for the super chat, these selfish bird brains don't realize some people take joy in contributing to the happiness of, shout out instead to bigging themselves up. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Contributing to the happiness instead of bigging themselves up every opportunity. Well, see, well, that goes to ego. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's give Mr. Z 1 second because we got to read ego now. Now we're going to read ego. Ego, a person's sense of self. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's read that again. A person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. Mr. Shook to you just triggered something. Let's read that one more again because this is about black women's collective ego. A person, so in this case it's actually a group of people, a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. When you couple that with what Mr. Shook to you is saying, instead of bigging themselves up every opportunity, Simone Biles is famous already. She's been famous for years. That don't mean to her what it mean to y'all. She don't need to break her husband. She don't need him to kiss her ass every 5 seconds, especially on camera. That's you. Whoever you ladies are, that's you. And you're projecting that onto her and she's telling you, I don't want it. Oh, significant others. Okay, now let's read that again. Okay. These selfish bird brains don't realize some people take joy in contributing to the happiness of significant others instead of bigging themselves up every opportunity. Yep. All right. And that's exactly what Simone Biles is doing. And y'all want her to humble him because you look at everything black men do or say as an affront to you that these ladies felt like, and the word is feel, not think, they felt like he was trying to humble her because everything is an insult to them. Even though whatever name of the dark skinned sister with the dreads that Ed has on his channel, that's what she was speaking to. You don't have to dim your light so his light can shine. What? Saint Cyr says, this moment just showed how egotistical, bitter black women are on a bigger scale. Man, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That it really Black women, y'all really got to chill out. Y'all got to put the cell phone down. Especially those of you that consume way too much social media. Y'all got to put the cell phone down. Y'all got to put the cell phone down. The nerve of FD to tell us as black men in the black manosphere to go touch grass and to go outside. The nerve. When you have damn 40 and 50 and 60 something year old black women invested in what a 17-year-old who a 17-year-old is bringing a prom, right? 40, 50 and 60 some odd year old black women are invested in who Bronny James was bringing the prom. And FD Signified got the unmitigated gall to tell the black manosphere to go touch grass. Right? This is pathetic. This black woman is a wife because she wants to be a wife. Y'all notice what word you notice what word Z didn't use and I haven't used? Did Z or did Simone Biles? Excuse me, wrong. Did Z or Miss Simone Owens or Mr. Owens, Mr. Jonathan Owens, did any one of us use the word wait for it, partner? Miss Simone Owens, Mr. Jonathan Owens, Mr. Z. Did any one of us use the word partner? Simone Biles is playing her role as a wife, and all black women are incensed. Right? Ain't no partner. And you would think if anybody would be talking partner talk, it would be two athletes who are married, who are both millionaires, right? You would think if anybody would be and quote unquote should be talking about partner talk, it would be them. And you know who's not? Them. Huh? And Dre, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Right? This is weirdo stuff, y'all. Yeah, look, black women, y'all put the cell phone down for the love of God. It's making you myopic. It's turning you psychologically into a white woman, which you will never be. Which you will never be. It's frightening watching black women be this invested in a celebrity athlete and her love life, her marriage to a black man because she pursued him and she lets the world know that she loves her husband and that's what she's about. And she's willing to put her career on the back burner for him and his career. And the accolades matter to her clearly, but her ego isn't in the way. Thank you, Saint Cyr. The first thing in her bio is wife, right? So we're, you know, I truly believe that. I truly believe that these people are far too invested in these athletes and these celebrities' lives, really because their lives kind of suck. They're stressed the hell out, right? They're unhappy, right? They're somebody's 3 o'clock in the morning jump off, or they're in a quote unquote situationship with someone, right? No, that's how it's that is how it is being portrayed. And DA says, who said that? She nor he said she put her career behind. And Chakra says, like the MF video, guys. Like the video. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Right. So this is something that I think we're gonna. How is this? How am I gonna say this? I think black women are late as Latina women and white women find a nice, safe, or at least safer place, right, to tuck themselves under. And it's not just the money part; it's the loneliness part, right? It's the relationship and companionship part. And as Latina women and white women drop this weird neoliberal assessment of men and masculinity relationships and deem most men lacking. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but as they start to pivot, and as even certain black female content creators start to moonwalk and pivot ever so slightly, I think black women are going to be, for the most part, left behind, right? Because I think a sizable chunk of black women, they insist on black men are trash and colorist and sexist and texturist and featurist and losers and jealous of black women and their accomplishments. They insist on that type of story, that type of narrative. They insist on it, right? And I think that's going to make it much more difficult for even black female content creators to say, "Hey, this is a new paradigm. We can't really be on that anymore." Right? DA, I've said this. That's exactly what I said. No, but they're unhappy. No. These people are unhappy. The second part of your sentence, I definitely agree with. But the first part, nah, they're unhappy. And DA says it's not necessarily people are unhappy. It's people spending too much time on social media. No, it's unhappy and too much time on social media. Right? And way too invested in young black people and what they're doing with their love life. Right? Especially these black athletes and celebrities, especially when we project our insecurities on these people, our inferiority complex, our lack of self-esteem onto these people, our issue with our ex-husband, our baby daddy, our ex-boyfriend, our current quote-unquote situationship, right? And DA says the whole black sector is about celebrity. I agree. Right. Well, this is where Nixon comes in. So yeah, I used to say this all the time. I haven't said it in a little while, but you know, when George Romney, Mitt Romney's father, this is back when Nixon was president. So this is like late '60s, early '70s. Um, so Nixon sent George Romney out to find out. So George Romney was the head of HUD at the time, Housing and Urban Development, and George Romney, once again, Mitt Romney, once presidential candidate, What state was he governor of? Was it Massachusetts, y'all? At one point. And I think George Romney, his father, was governor of what, Michigan at one point? Am I right or wrong? I can't remember what political office George Romney held before he was HUD secretary. But either way, um Nixon sends George Romney out to find out why black people are still protesting in the streets in the late 60s, early 70s. What is their issue? Um was he Texas? No, can't be. Are you sure, Chakra? And okay, so father was governor of Michigan. Thank you, Detro. Yeah, so it was okay. Thank you. Um, so yeah, so I keep on saying this over and over again. So Nixon sends George Romney out, find out why black people are still protesting, what's their issue, yada yada yada. George Romney comes back and says, Mr. President, it's because they know we lied to them. They know we're not gonna do half the things we saying. They don't believe us, they don't trust us, and we really haven't delivered. So that's where Nixon comes up with benign neglect, and he also says sell them on capitalism. And so when you hear sell them on capitalism, read into it all of it. Read into it sell them on do for self. Read into it sell them on entrepreneurialism. Read into it selling them. And this is why you this is when you also see the spike in of overrepresentation, I would say, of black people who are successful. And that's actually when actually Nixon and this is I'm getting this from um what is her name, Mercer Baradaran, who wrote the book, and she's not even, she's Persian, she's not even black, right? She wrote the book Color of Money, right? So and she says this, and she has documentation of this, which is Nixon doesn't even care. He just wants feel good stories for black people, right? So he's selling black people on feel good stories, right? So this is where you get newspaper clippings. This is where you get the spike in black celebrity being overrepresented on television, because it, like, they're really pushing average black people to live vicariously through black people that got a couple of dollars and that are successful in any type of way, right? So, you know, I would say that's where you get this push. And I think that's still being felt and still being pushed, right, on black people till this day, which is live vicariously through Jay-Z, live vicariously through Oprah, live vicariously through Beyonce, live vicariously, well, rest in peace, Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson, et cetera, right? Live vicariously through Michael Jordan, through Tyson, live vicariously through all of these celebrities. And I think that's another reason why so many black people are invested in these celebrities and these athletes in their life. Right? Anubis says, yeah, the cold shoulder works, but not neglect, right? But not neglect. And Earth said the Sammy Nixon hug was huge propaganda. Sammy Davis Jr. and Richard Nixon hug, yeah. And I'd say that's how you get to where we are now, with black people being far too invested in celebrity life. That was fostered. That was something that was developed into black people. Not saying that our grandparents weren't somewhat invested, but at this level, and then and then what made it even worse. So now it's just spinning on its own momentum, right? Or running on its own momentum and spinning on its own axis. Social media made it worse, because now for certain celebrities, when they keep on posting their house, whether the other celebrities they're out with, the other celebrities they went to dinner with, right? And so Cardi B doesn't just seem like a celebrity that you see on television whenever she drops a new album or in a music video. No, or when she's on 106 in Park back in the day, right? No, a Cardi B or a Meg Thee Stallion, they almost feel like your next door neighbor now, right? So now we ratchet up the jealousy and the envy and the investment in their life. You ratchet that up to 12, right? And a split Jim says, and thank you for the super chat, we have such great thinkers in the space. It's sad that they have to commit to fighting for the image of black men and future of black boys. Man, Split gem. You. That's a mouthful because it's true. It's true. And that's pretty much that's Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. That's Dr. Green Gorilla. That's BGS, right? That's Dr. Ron O'Neill. That's Dr. Thunder. And Dr. Thunder told y'all, if it wasn't for his son, he just been chilling, enjoyed his wife and chilling, right? Right? And he said, watch Robert Greene and Matt Huberman have a great convo, free and open, right? Yeah. And yeah. This is Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks, and Nigel says, as it relates to the decadent veil. Yeah. Yep. Right. And once again, thank you, Split Jim, for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right. And Leon will just read yours outright. And Leon says, Real Housewife meets Dragon Ball Z with the power of Death Note and Barbie with the sprinkle of roots, sprinkle. That's why people were laughing earlier. Man, it really is a Frankenstein mix, a toxic brew of weirdo, aspirational, swirler, divester, manifesting, black men ain't ish, get the bag, hyper capitalist, consumerist, materialistic sludge. It's just a toxic brew. You wonder why black women sound so goddamn schizophrenic. Rugged individuality, you could just pour all of that in the pot. Mix all that in the pot. Then you remember what I played, and then you mix in Disney and the rest of them literally targeting little girls with lifestyle and branding in the late 90s, early aughts. And those little girls are now grown ass women in their 30s, in their 20s and 30s and early 40s. Late 20s, all their 30s and early 40s. And then you wonder why they sound absolutely insane. You don't believe me? Just watch any video from Daily Wrap Up Crew. Watch any video of Kevin Samuels interviewing them. And that's if we just talking about the black ones. Y'all can watch the whatever podcast if you want to watch white women sounding absolutely insane. Hermes says, "Wow, I'm still catching up. I had no idea a white dude wrote Girlfriends." Yeah, what's his name off of Frasier? What's his actual real name? Oh, it's right there. It's right there. Oh, and make it worse, he's a conservative. Oh, black women over here voting Democrat at 90+%, and one of y'all favorite shows was written by a white conservative man. Oh, oh, you can't make this up. You can't make it up. Yes, Kelsey Grammer. Thank you, Hitflix. Kelsey Grammer. Thank you, Earth. Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer. Right. And I used to watch Frasier. Guess what? I don't hate black women though. I used to watch Frasier as a kid. Guess what? I don't compare black women to white women though, and then deem them lacking. Right. He was either the writer or the producer, something like that. Either the producer or the writer, something like that. Right. Absolutely insane. Y'all sound crazy, black women. Please put the cell phone down. Turn off social media for a week or two. Right. Jesus Christ. Y'all are so invested in these goddamn athletes in their life. Y'all give me a second, y'all. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna continue to see this. I really think a nice chunk, if not all, definitely black women on social media are really behind the eight ball on this one. Um, I think we're witnessing the very beginnings of a pivot in our society. We don't know what it's going to look like on the other side, right? But I think okay, executive producer. Okay, thank you, Cho. Kelsey Grammer was the executive producer of Girlfriends, right? And that says a lot, right? Black women who vote Democrat at what, 90 some odd percent? And many of you, Girlfriends was one of your favorite shows. Some of y'all are still watching reruns of Girlfriend. Executive produce, white conservative man. Fast forward 2 decades later, and look at how y'all sound about relationships and marriage and black men and white men. And how many of you fit into the archetype of one of those four girls? And Themis and Thaw definitely fits into the Z. Right? And then how many of you used to watch Friends? The show that was notoriously known for not having black people in it, even though it stole from Living Single. And then how many of you watch Sex in the City and Ally McBeal? And how many of you saw those shows as a guide to life and not just quote unquote entertainment? I'm gonna sound like an old head. Television programming. What? Programming. Eddie Griffin had something to say about this. It's called television programming. That's because you're being programmed. You're being programmed. Right? DA, sister, look, you might be a little too sensible on this one. We disagree often, but they're not trying to hear that. And DA says they need to watch the whole interview. They will have a different view about Simone's marriage. They think it's one-sided from one clip. They don't care. Oh yeah, 90210. How did D thank you? I forgot. D, thank you. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, KW Don. Yeah, Aisha Taylor was the one token Negro. Right? Thank you, D. I completely forgot about 90210. Because it was a little bit before my time, just a little bit, right? Just a smidge. It was still on television as I was coming up, but it was more like my older cousins and stuff like that. My older cousins that were maybe like 4 years older than me, that was more their speed, right? The OC, yeah, stuff like that either was like a little bit before me, a little bit after me, right? What's the other show they used to? The Gilmore Girls. Oh God. Oh, I think I just threw up in my mouth. Y'all wonder how we get women like Amanda Marianne and all these little cute sisters that when they talk and they move and they emote and you're like wondering where the hell? And then she's way too. Amanda Marianne is younger than that, but still, like, you look at some of these black women and you look at the way they move and they talk, and yes, some of them are born and raised in the suburbs, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, absolutely, right? But then you listen to the type of entertainment they consume, whether it's the music and the television shows and what they consume on social media. And then it makes all the sense in the world about why they talk about black men a certain way and why they talk about white men a certain way. Or even worse yet, they don't talk about black men and they talk about white men a certain way. Mr. Z, how is it worse that they don't talk about black men? It's because of the way they talk about white men, right? It's just crazy. The Big Bang Theory. Thank you, Nigel. International Ronin says Melrose Place had the other Vanessa Williams. Right. And thank you for the super chat, Leon. And Big Kev says Manning Johnson also talked about communists co-opting the black struggle to peddle communism in his 1958 book. And that, man, like, look, these political movements co-opting black liberation struggle for their own ends, and we are 50, 60, 70 some odd years out dealing with all of the fallout. And it's not because it's easy to say because black people don't read. That's easy. It's not just that black people don't read. It's that there's been a concerted effort in keeping black people. I just would like to direct you to Florida and DeSantis. Keeping black people from knowing, right? This kind of, let's say, hidden history. It's the same thing they do with Martin Luther King, right? They sanitize him to just being, you know, the march on Washington and Selma, like that. They sanitize him to that, the "I Have a Dream" speech, which is pretty much what they're boiling down black liberation struggle to. They boil down black liberation struggle to black people, namely black men, begging white people to drink at water fountains, to drink at all white water fountains. Like, that's the beginning and the end of the entire Jim Crow black liberation struggle, right? They don't talk about black men putting in that work. They don't talk about how often white people took a L. They don't talk about not just civil rights, black people fighting for human rights. They don't talk about how many black people were anti-Vietnam War and got it correct the first time, right? They don't talk about Martin and Malcolm and Medgar Evers and Fred Hampton and their assessment of wealth hoarding, right? Even how Fred Hampton spoke about race, not just as a color, but a political construct, right? And then FD signifier once again is telling us to touch grass. Okay. How many black women, even older than me, that speak on this type of stuff, how many of them know anything about what I just said? How many of them know about Mitt Romney's dad? How many of them know about Nixon? They don't even know who Nixon is. If you're not old enough, they don't. Oh, that they used to call Nixon Tricky Dick, that Nixon was Eisenhower's VP before he was president. Lee Atwater in the Southern Strategy. Y'all hear me speak about Milton Friedman and the Chicago Boys all the time. And Ayn Rand, even though these women are literally living Ayn Rand's wet dream, they don't even know who she is. They don't even know who she is. Right? This is crazy talk. But look how invested they are in Miss Simone Owens and her marriage to her husband. Ooh, Ishmael. Ooh. And Ishmael says, these individuals grasp an analysis of class politics laid the groundwork for intersectional theory. As of black men didn't have an understanding of these dynamics and their interactions before Crenshaw. Look, Kimberly Crenshaw ran the head. It really should have been black men to really propose intersectionality. If you want Z to call it, if you want Z to call it, it really should have been black men. Or at least, even if we were, and we just never coalesced on a word. But Kimberly Crenshaw ran ahead, put that out there, and then slowly, fast, use that to carve out a space for black men. Excuse me, carve out black men and then carve out a space for black women. Kimberly Crenshaw, that was quick, fast, in a hurry. Push black men out there as the boogeyman of the black community, and then carve out a space for black women and black LGBTQ people, and use that to get the goodies that white society would occasionally flick off the table for quote unquote black people. Right? And Leon says, but Kimberly Crenshaw and Bell Hooks are both light-skinned sisters. So much for colorism. You could throw Alice Walker in there a little bit too. Ooh. Even though Alice Walker, she ain't light-skinned like that. She trimmed. She's what, brown paper bag color, something like that. Maybe it's a couple of shades lighter. Maybe. She ain't light like. Oh God, I'm gonna sound like Ed. She ain't light like that. Right? Huh. And y'all over here worried about Miss Simone and her husband and their marriage. Paris, once again, sound like a Nazi about black men. Don't worry, Paris. I saved that video before you could delete it. She probably is not going to delete it, but I saved it just in case. Right. Excuse me, y'all. Right. So that's why I'm going to keep on talking about these things. Not that I'm invested. I don't care. I promise y'all, I don't care. I wanted to speak about something. I can't even remember what I was trying to talk about before. I was going to bring something that's like not even no relationship related thing. I put it in my give me a second, y'all. Mr. Z, let me see, because I actually. Oh, accelerationism. I was going to tie accelerationism to our conversation, right? I actually wanted to speak about something completely different. That's why I put the video about accelerationism in my community my community tab. DA said she is light skinned. Since when do we differentiate light skin like that? I don't know, because I've had a conversation with one of my homegirls, darker skinned black woman, and like for her, like everything lighter than her is light skin. And I've definitely had conversations with people. I promise y'all I'm not light. I promise y'all I'm not light skinned. Who call me light skinned? I'm like, Mr. Z is brown, and there could be no browner. If there's a safe brown, Mr. Z is the definition of safe brown. Right? But she called me light skinned. I was like, where? And I had a cousin, a male cousin, who called me that also. I'm like, where? Right? So yeah. So that's why I'm careful on what I call light skin, or I'm like I kind of use euphemisms. I kind of try to make it a little safer, because I'm not sure where people light skin bar is. For me, once you around that brown paper bag and lighter, right? Especially if you have kind of a red undertone to your skin tone, yeah. Listen to black people talk about color right now. Listen to black people talk about skin. Listen to Z talk about skin tones and skin color. Absolutely insane. I can't even, I was about to say black people, but it's not just us. This is definitely not just a black people thing. Not on this one. Oh yeah, this is definitely everyone but white people thing. Actually, white people actually talk about skin tone too. Actually, right? But this is definitely when we start talking about shades like that. Yeah, that's definitely a people of color thing. Ishmael says, if you're not bobo dark, um, some black people, you're not, excuse me, you're light, bright, and damn near white, bro. I'm telling you, it's crazy who I've heard call other people light skin. I'm like, that person is not light skin. What? Yo, and to be honest with you, low key, it smells like inferiority complex to me. It smells like anything that's lighter than you think got treated better than you, right? Or like a shade or two, like, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Toya, you definitely would be considered light skinned. Excuse me. And your mom would definitely be considered light skinned. Like that's a no brainer right there. Excuse me. Right? Toya said is not light skinned. Toya, you definitely would be considered light skinned. Absolutely. This is crazy. Dr. Dunbar is laughing at Toya, right? And Toya said, yeah, my mom ain't passing the paper bag test. Hey, Toya, guess what? Anyone, according to some of the dark skinned brothers and sisters, anyone who's not Lupita, the brother from Get Out, color is light skinned, right? If you're not Ashley Acuna or Lupita or man, these people damn near because we find Kelly Rowland attractive, they damn near want to say Kelly Rowland ain't dark. I'm like, where? Dr. Dunbar said, I think I'm just over the threshold. Dr. Dunbar, you on that line. You on that line. Hey, Ed, Ed, when them dark skinned brothers mad at you, they look at you as a white man. Ed said, add Edward Anderson light skin to the crayon box. Hey, when them dark skinned brothers are mad at Ed, they be like, shut your light ass up. When they say shut your light ass up, what they really try to say is shut your white ass up. Oh man, don't y'all forget how Dr. Umar Johnson was beefing with what's the name of the brother he was beefing with, and he just started doing the colorism jokes. I'm like, what the? Look, we only supposed to do the colorism jokes when it's a joke. You're not supposed to actually go in on the skin tone when we serious. All that does is speak to your inferiority complex and your self-esteem. See, he said, see what Ed said? I've been told I look white. Ed, you do not look no goddamn white. That's them niggas trying to jab at you to see if you feel a certain way about your skin tone, and that's them also speaking to their freaking self-esteem. Right? Okay, so Seti, yeah, man, when Dr. Umar, I'm like, what? Man, you need to stop. Look, maybe because I'm safe brown, I just be looking at this like, what is this real? I promise you, I don't find every skin tone attractive. So yeah, I really don't. It's different for me. Like the skin tone thing is not. It's not a thing. I know it's real, but it's not a thing for me. Right? The light skin, dark skin, black women thing. Yeah, nah. All right. So on that note, everyone, listen. Miss Simone Owens, you enjoy your husband. Clearly, you were doing the right thing. You did it right. You didn't just wait for him to pursue you, or you just didn't wait to get picked on by some plotting ass white man. Right? It's an add safe brown to crayon box. There you go. Right. The safe, unoffensive brown. Right. Now Rock Newman like. Ishmael said, if you Sean King complexion, come on now, Rock Newman light. Rock Newman light. What's the brother? Rest in peace from the Glenn Ford from the Black Agenda Report. Prince, right? Name him. Oh man, Prince. Rest in peace. Glenn Ford, rest in peace. Sean Newman. Oh man, I said Sean Newman. Sorry, Rock Newman. Yeah, y'all might as well put Logic in there. uh, exactly, Ed. That's what I'm saying. And Ed says she should go by Simone Owens just to troll. I would. She should. That's what they really hate. They hate that a black woman is real about what she wants and she's 10 toes down about her husband and her marriage. She pursued him. She made sure that she let him know that it's about him. She ain't listening to nothing the Gynocracy has to say about her marriage. Oh, they hate it. Oh, they hate it. Damn, that's weird. Let me say that one more time. For all the black women that subscribe to this way of thinking, y'all exposed y'all are exposing way too much about yourselves. Way too much about yourselves. Put the cell phone down. Right? Put the cell phone down. And DA says she went on high value dating sites, Raya, and found one. Here's the thing. These women are speaking like the brother ain't high value because he's not as rich as her. They speaking like Jonathan Owens is not high value because he's not as rich as her or not as famous as her. He's more famous than any man, just about any one of those women can ever get, ever, whether that's a white, black, Asian, or Latino man. Most of the dudes won't even smash y'all, let alone actually claim you as a wife. And y'all talking about this man like he's some dusty. Well, Z, that's because if you're a black man in relationship to black women, you are a dusty. In relation to black women, you are a dusty. Especially if you were on camera not worshiping her, right? Ishmael says, neither is Alexis Ohanian. Yeah, but Alexis Ohanian is white and the skin pays in dividends. I need to copyright that. The skin pays in dividends. Right? And King Camo says they want Simone to be a femcel so bad. Look, they want some now. It's almost not even. It's almost. You know when someone says something like, I know what's about to happen, or you know, well, when he cheats on her, and like if you go through some of the comments from Yanni's comment section and Pear's comment section, it's really, you know, it's like they're trying to do the whole I hope this doesn't happen, but really they're wishing it on her. They're hoping that he cheats on her or he physically assaults her or I don't know, he's found in the bed with a dude type thing. Like you could see that they're wishing something ill to happen just so they can be like, see, I told you. And that is, I don't know if there's a word in the English language to describe this weird phenomenon that we got going on with black women, especially on social media. Right? Simone Biles, I think Simone Biles is cute. She has a very cute, bubbly personality. If you watch her interviews, if you even see the way she was looking at him, and that's the look on her face all the time, right? I don't even think she frightened for the camera, right? So before we even speak about her like literal physical looks on scale, her personality is just off the chain. And most of these black women could never. Bubbly, bubbly around a black man, right? You got to remember, most black men don't even know what that looked like coming from black women. So that alone gave her points. All these little miserable ass black women commented on this freaking superstar athlete and her husband in their marriage. And Simone Biles told you where you could shove the gynocracy. Mr. Shukti, you said, I think the gynocracy and gynocrats fits the narrative perfectly. No need to find new words to explain it. You're right. You're right. You're right. God damn, these people are miserable. Boy, y'all are some miserable. Y'all want to call us dusty. What do you have to drink to keep yourself hydrated from all that misery? All that negative wishes, wishing Jamie Foxx death, dancing on Kobe Bryant's grave, dancing on Kevin Samuels' grave, dancing on David Carroll's grave. Just how do you hydrate yourself? How do you keep yourself nourished? That's a lot of energy. That got to take a lot of energy. Calvin said haterade. Seriously, that got to take a lot of energy to always be wishing bad on people because they're dating out or they're having sex with a non-black person, or let's be clear, see, rewind, wishing bad on black men because they're having sex with a non-black woman, or they're seen with a non. I use the Jonathan Majors situation for instance. This man hasn't said nothing. We don't know of him ever saying anything negative about black women ever. And yet, because this man was with a white woman, right? He had the nerve to be black, rich, and for some of the ladies were making fun of him and the way he looks, and some of the ladies found him attractive. So for the ones that found him attractive, the fact that he had the nerve to be black, rich, and attractive to some of them, and not be with the black woman, they're dancing on his misfortune, right? That gotta take a lot of energy, man. Hating black men, that's hating black men, wishing ill on black men, wanting black men to kiss your ass every 5 seconds, being disgusted with black men, comparing black men to white men or Latino men or Asian men and deeming them lacking, saying they secretly gay, saying they're hurting and harming the children. They're excuse me, they're hurting and harming you. They're hurting and harming the black LGBTQ. That got to take a lot of energy. That got to take a lot of energy. Split Jim said that's how they fall asleep. I said haterade for that deep down misandrous thirst, hysterical. Right? Jesus Christ. That got to take a lot of energy, man. DAA, remember what country we live in. DA says, I think the evidence against Jonathan Majors was so weak. I was shocked they convicted him. Remember where we live. Remember where we live, right? And the watch is, you know, black women celebrate his misfortune. It's ooh, you know, I said it before, there's a certain level of selfish where you got to be selfless, right? And I think it just, when you're myopic, you harm your future chances. When you have short-sighted vision, when you're not doing the social math, you just hurt yourself. Imagine this. Okay, fine. Because social media is there for everyone to read and see, especially if you just fall into the wrong rabbit hole. Imagine the chances that black women are torching for their daughters when 14 and 15 and 16-year-old black boys who are being sent Andrew Tate content anyway, who are being sent the whatever podcast content anyway. The algorithm's already putting that in front of them. And then they accidentally fall into a video of Kevin or a video of the Daily Wrap Up crew. And then they hear black women and how they sound. Do black women even understand what that means for their daughters in the future? Or do they really think that some mythical, magical white or Latino man, they're going to move into the suburbs and they don't have to worry about it because some white or Latino young man is going to come and scoop up their daughter, so they don't got to worry about what the young Negroes think, right? It's just super short-sighted. It's just really, really short-sighted for a group of black women who claim to care about black women and their outcomes. And like, we're watching black women's singleness eat them alive, and yet y'all are creating the foundation for your daughters to be single, whether your daughter's going to be well off financially or not. And to be honest and frank, y'all are creating the foundation for non-black men who were once boys to prey on your daughters, right? It's just really not smart. It's really short-sighted, and it's going to harm black women in the long run. The young girls that we already have the videos of the teenagers in their parents' car crying. And some of these are cute little girls crying because ain't nobody really chasing after them like that in high school. And y'all are not making it any easier with how crazy y'all talk on this interwebs. Right? Mr. Shook to you, give me a second. General Tito, what's going on, bro? And he says, and thank you for the super chat. He says, since when do black women care about their daughters? They can't even give them names that look good on a job application. Look, we ain't gonna stereotype all black women with that. Some black women are out there giving their daughters the most non-offensive suburban white girl names humanly possible. Which, you know what? I get it. Right? But you're right. You're right. There's definitely sisters that give their daughters some of the most insane. You'd be like, what? She really ain't named you LaCrondra. That's a real name? Okay, all right. I ain't even gonna insult it. You know what? Fine. See, exactly, Earth Abigail Johnson. Exactly, right? Some of the most non-offensive to white folks names humanly possible. I get it. I do. This is when like I become real pro black because I feel a certain way about feeling to like I'm forced to give my children some super non-offensive name lest they be have their job application shredded, or well, what am I saying shredded? We don't even live in that age anymore. Have their job application clicked over to the next one, you know, in the next, well, Mr. Z don't even have kids. Let's say in the next 25 years or something, right? Ah, that was funny. That's funny. In International Ronin says it's African Z. It means Black Queen. Oh, hysterical. That really is what they, man. And General Tito, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Oh man. They'll really be finding on. I'm like, okay, which tribe does that name mean Black Queen? Go ahead. Right? They're gonna come up with some fictional tribe in Africa that's matriarchal. Right? How do you even pronounce that? And Trail says, I graduated with a girl named Theandra, only find out it was, or is what it was, Theandrate. Serious? I need that spelled out. I need that spelled out. You gotta treat me like I'm 5. I need that spelled out. Calvin says the tribe of West New York. Oh man. Oh, and he says Fiandrate. Fiandra. Oh. All right, mom. There's no way that was dad. All right, mom. Okay. All right. And General Tito stands corrected. He's right. He's right. Jesus Christ. Oh. Fiandrate. See, in an ideal world, it wouldn't matter. Right? Now this is Mr. Z tapping into his lefty bag. In an ideal world, in a utopian society, in a world where white folks ain't run things, it wouldn't matter. You could name your goddamn child Tree, okay? And it wouldn't matter. But as the world currently stands, y'all know my phrase, as the world is currently constituted, it does matter. And white folks are running things. And you're more likely to run into a white HR person and a white hiring whoever the hell than you are a black person. And even the black person gonna be like, right? you went Michael Jackson with it, blanket. Right? And Detro said blanket. In the ideal world, it wouldn't matter. Right? But we don't live in that world. We don't. And Telescope said we used to and we used to laugh at Leroy. Oh no, the names done got way crazier than that. What is this that you're telling me right now, Better You? He says L.A. or La is the worst I've seen. It's supposed to be Ladasha. Ladasha? Ladasha. I'm gonna say it's Ladasha. There's no way it's Ladasha. Ladasha. Look. As a matter of fact, to what you were saying about Leroy Telescope, and we were laughing at Blanket. I was a kid when Michael however Blanket was conceived. When Blanket was conceived, we were laughing at that. We done came a long way from that. Calvin says, "Get on the interview." And can you pronounce that for me? I know teachers all through the 90s and the early aughts. I know if you were a teacher that first day of class, oh, those names, especially if you were in the hood, oh, the names. I know that had to be an experience within itself. The names. You said I was right the first time, Ladasha? No, Ladasha. Not, Ladasha was the way I said it the second time. It's Ladasha? No. Oh, you know, I ain't even gonna I'm not even gonna laugh at the lady name. I'm not gonna laugh at the lady name. I ain't gonna do it. Wow. Indigo, you caught that? However, Blanket was conceived. Look, y'all know. Y'all know when Michael was on. Come on now. Ishmael said conceived in the lab. Right? Why you hate saying your name, Dr. Dunbar? Right? Let me read Mr. Shook to you. And Mr. Shook to you says, soon they'll take gynocracy and change definition. Yeah, man. I'm surprised they don't. I'm not gonna put no thoughts out there. How do I say this without saying this? There's a repository for words and terms that might signal something antisocial. And I'm surprised that that term, that word isn't in there yet, because the feminists feel a certain way about it. And I'll leave that there. I'm gonna try not to ever say that again before it actually happens. Right? Because they're gonna think that's not even think, they're gonna act like that's a signal towards something. That's crazy. And on that note, yo, look, we're working on 2 hours and 15 minutes. Look, on that note, we will pause right there for real. Thank you for spending your mornings with Z. Morning Z. When are we gonna? Someone asked me when are we gonna have another panel. What is today's? Let's shoot for Monday, maybe. Oh no, that's Christmas. What am I saying? Nah, Ms. Z would definitely be looking at Mr. Z. I would definitely. My girl is not even the fuss out type, but I think I'll get fussed out for that one. Right. Let's shoot for Friday. Let's shoot for Friday for panel discussion. Definitely. But this one I had to speak on. I don't understand why they so goddamn invested. Why y'all so invested, man? Alexa, play Mariah Carey's "Why You So Obsessed with Me," please. Why y'all so goddamn invested? Let it go. Put your cell phone down, for the love of God, black women. Put your cell phone down. Detro said, anybody play a Assetto Corsa? Detro, get on Forza. Even though Assetto Corsa is more realistic, it really is. And if you play at PC, you could really modify your car, right? But get on Forza Motorsport. Now it's not even called Forza Motorsport 8 anymore. Well, it was never called Forza Motorsport 8, even though it is. It's just called Forza Motorsport. Oh, it's an MC. Get Forza Motorsport too. Right? See, he said I have a PC. Exactly. Assetto Corsa on PC. That might be one of the best racing games in racing game history. Yeah, it's that good. All right. Look, Detro, you're not gonna make me do overtime. So on that note, we're gonna pause right there for real. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Like I said, I really think we as a collective of Black people, definitely Black women, oh my God, are way too invested in Black celebrity and Black athlete and who they having sex with and their relationships or lack thereof. It's really cringe when we get under a certain age and we start caring what they're doing with their life. Let it go. All right, we're gonna try to shoot that for Friday for real. And Big Kiss is gonna have a panel. Think, all right, all right, all right. We'll shoot for Friday. We're gonna shoot for Friday. That's the goal. That's the goal. Friday. Friday in the early afternoon. So like, let's shoot for Friday, 3-ish, 2:30-ish, right? So that's the goal for us for the panel discussion, right? And shout out to Big Kev. Thank you for the super chat. Big Kev going old school with it. And yeah, man, we too invested. We're too invested. Jesus Christ. Let the lady live. So shout out to Miss Simone Owens and Mr. Jonathan Owens, right? And their marriage and the fact that she's sticking with her husband. I didn't say man, right? I didn't say partner. She's sticking with her husband, right? All these little miserable, bitter Bettys. Y'all over here wishing the downfall of this marriage. Man, y'all that's some sick, pathetic stuff. And on that note, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and Mr. Z out. All right, y'all. Put the cell phone down, Black women. All right, for real, we out of here.